Dazai? Did I see Dazai? Who did I see? Hey everyone, I'm going to react to Bungo Stray Dogs Season 2, Episode 8. Though the mind may be wrong. Last episode, so many things happening. Kunikida and Tanizaki faced these two members of the guild trying to save his sister and the other person working. Atsushi was attacked by this Q who can control your mind through hallucinations and stuff. And then at the end there you had Francis, I think that's his name, show up next to Atsushi, and there was a fight that was happening, and then what's her name shows up. It's like, stop it. So I'm like, what the heck is going on? Kyouka or Kyuko, either way, she shows up, and I'm like, where did she come from? Because she was missing. We didn't know where she went, and now she just suddenly shows up here. I don't know. So that's what happened last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys like my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/philomini. And now let's start this episode, and here we go. Hopefully the internet, because I had an issue with the internet while I was watching. Oh, should I do that? Just to be on the safe side. Yeah. Let me turn my phone into a Wi-Fi hotspot and use that instead of my internet. I don't know why the Wi-Fi hotspot thing wasn't working, but I guess I'll just take my chances with my internet. Hopefully it'll work. Alright, here we go. I was about to say, wow, you're making it seem like he was about to say something else. And why are you making it so dramatic? Oh my goodness. My goodness. What the heck is up with this episode? Yeah. I'm slightly confused about the scene between Nathaniel and Francis. Margaret jumped in to save Nathaniel, right? And then Nathaniel woke up and put on his glasses and then basically told that's what it seemed like to me, that he told Francis that he doesn't need him. He was going to do things by himself or something or other like that. And then Francis wasn't happy with it, and he went to the girl that comes up with the plans, and then he's like, what's the emergency plan? And then he was basically telling her that they were his property and that he's gonna protect his property. So I'm like, I'm slightly confused. Do you care about your people or do you not? Is it because it's like, I don't need you anymore, I'm gonna do this by myself, that you're like, nobody is ever gonna leave me or something, and that's why you're upset, and then you're like, I'm gonna kill those people from making from making Nathaniel sort of like leave me behind or betray me or something or other like that. Like I'm confused. Does he care about his people or does he not? Because he feels like he treats them as things, as properties, but then he's making it seem like he's trying to protect them or something. Like, I don't know. I'm confused about that. Kyoko showed up last episode, right at the end there. And I'm like, okay, where was she? What's up with her? And she was like, she was hiding in alleys and basically in the darkness, sort of. But then she realized that that's not her place anymore, and that her place is at the agency. And she said she called the police. And I'm like, I don't know about that one because I don't know if it's these police are working with the guild or something, or if the guild um arranged things in such a way that they were gonna make her. Well, I would say if I thought that maybe Francis was behind her being arrested and everything, but then she was part of the Port Mafia, and the police. She had killed a whole bunch of people, and the police have been looking for her. So I guess maybe Francis didn't have anything to do with that, you know. So when she called the police, and then they came, and the whoever told the other police officers told them that there was this girl that was a serial killer that was around the neighborhood. I think that's why I'm like, is this Francis's plan? Because how would they know that she's there? I don't know. But either way, they were she the policeman was about to pull her gun on her, and she just like knife and just like sliced the dude. I'm like, girl, I know that's sort of like her default setting, but I'm like, we're not killing people anymore, okay? And Atsushi stopped her, but then Francis shows up, dragged Atsushi away, and now she's like, why did you show me the light? Why did you show me hope? Which is basically what the other woman was telling her, that apparently someone also had shown her the light at one point, but it didn't particularly work out. That's why she was so adamant about keeping Kyouka in the darkness or something. So when she was saying that, I'm like, girl, don't say that. But then there were all these police officers that surrounded her, and then she's like, goodbye. I'm like, please don't tell me that you killed these people. Okay? Because if she kills them, that it makes it like it's like her making an active decision on going down the darkness and not looking for the light anymore. I would much prefer it if she didn't resist and they took her in. That would be better. I feel like that they could, the agency, the president, I don't know, something, they could lobby on her behalf, and I don't know, get her out of the situation. But if she kills these people, then that's it. So I don't know what happened with that, because that was the last we saw of them. Now, Francis takes Atsushi to the Moby Dick. Oh my goodness. To Moby Dick. And he basically tells him why he needed Atsushi. He's looking for this particular book, and apparently Atsushi is gonna lead him to that. But how exactly? As it seems like Atsushi doesn't know exactly what this book is. But then again, later in the episode, he was like, I read this passage in a book. He forgot the author's name. When he said he forgot the author's name in Wana, I couldn't help but think back to Odasaku and the book that he was reading. There was this third book that he couldn't find and couldn't read, and then the person that told him to write the book had the same name as the author of the book. So I'm like, okay, is that author the same author that Atsushi was thinking about? Because he's like, he forgot who the author was. So I'm like, okay, is there similarities between those two? So as they were discussing this book that he knew nothing about, Francis told him about how they were enacting the emergency plan. And the emergency plan is Q had the bad luck of trying to use his ability on Lovecraft, which didn't turn out nah, that wasn't good. So now he's captured, and then that dude that uses the trees and stuff, he's now connected Q to all the people in Yokohama, and they're combining both abilities to make people go crazy in the city and just causing a whole bunch of destruction and stuff. And Francis had the doll in the hand. He's like, okay, once I tear off the heads off of the doll, then the curse is gonna activate. And he did that. And now he said that he basically captured excuse me, Atsushi, because he wanted to protect him from the curse affecting him and whatnot. And they locked him up, right? But then Lucy, the girl that had captured Naomi and the Port Mafia leaders, that girl, also Elise or something or other like that, she was there, and she came to visit Atsushi in his prison, and Atsushi was trying to get her to help him, and she was not going to until Atsushi basically made her realize that both of them went through the similar stuff, and that if she turns her, and that people on the ground Yokohama also probably are going through similar things, and if she didn't help them, it would be like not helping her past self and mana. So he basically convinced her to help him. So she used her ability to open a door, I guess, for him to get out of Moby Dick, and she gave him a parachute, and she told Atsushi that she was gonna be okay as long as she stays in her room in Buana. And Atsushi basically promised her that once he finds Dazai and gives Dazai the doll so that he can cancel the ability, he's gonna find a way to save her, I guess. So he jumped. And then there was a person on the guild side of things that had Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer. That's his ability. He's basically sort of like a marksman, and he was shooting Atsushi down, and he did hit Atsushi, and then Atsushi was falling, and then he started. There was this sort of like meeting of the minds, I guess, between him and the tiger. And he thanked the tiger, and then he fell. I still don't quite understand how his ability works. Like, I know there's sort of like there's a tiger inside of him and everything, but how does it work exactly? Did the tiger overtake him and land on his feet properly or something? And then I don't know, but he was okay when he landed. So he started running. He knew he was looking for, before he fell, he was looking at the ground, and he was seeing Chuya and the Port Mafia basically sort of like protecting the city, because they're like, if the city's gone, then how are we gonna do business? Oh my goodness, that was the motivation behind them helping, doing stuff. So he noticed that, and then he fell. And Mark, I think Mark was his name, the person that had the dumpster ability. He kept firing at Atsushi on the ground, right? And Atsushi was running, and then he saw these things that were like around. He's like, what is that? Like, he hasn't noticed that before or anything like that. But then the guy shot at an oil rig. The thing exploded, and Atsushi fell, and then he started hallucinating whatever the orphanage person telling him to stop resisting or something or other along those lines. And he was like, he was about to pass out, but then you see Dazai show up and touch the stuff, and then the thing stopped. I love me Dazai. So when he showed up, I'm so happy, and he congratulated Atsushi on the job well done. Took Atsushi down. Before he took him down the stairs or wherever they ended up at, Atsushi warned him about the guy that was shooting down and everything. He's like, don't worry about it. And then they activated whatever those things were. There was all this pink smoke that, basically was messing with that guy's sensors and everything. So even if he's not going to be able to shoot accurately at them. So they went down there, and Atsushi is like, well, first of all, Dazai is like, as long as they have Q, they can still enact this emergency plan. They can still activate the curse, And Atsushi is like, I remember a line from this book. Is it the same book as the previous one or a different book? I don't know. But then he's like, I have a plan, and you might not like it, but we need to basically team up with the Port Mafia to face the guild. So that's what Atsushi is suggesting. Whether they're gonna go, like, whether the Port Mafia is gonna go along with it or not, like, I don't know. I feel like they will, especially with this emergency plan that's basically destroying Yokohama, which is like, I guess, their base of operations. It will be messy with their business and stuff, so it will be in their interest to join up with the agency, to face the guild. So yeah, I can mention it in this episode, but I'm really getting tired of seeing Atsushi look down on himself, like, all the time. Each time he faces someone that beats him up, and he's like, am I in this position again? Or whatever, I'm so weak. Do I always need help? I'm just saying that's how it comes off to me. Like, and then he'll be having the flash back to the orphanage and what the people are saying to him. I'm like, boy, can you like get over it already? That's why when he sort of like had this meeting of the mind between him and the tiger, I'm like, okay, are you and the tiger basically gonna be like sort of like are you gonna understand each other better, and are you gonna be fully able to use your ability to the fullest potential and not get hurt so easily and whatnot? That's what I was thinking. But then the oil rig happened, and then he's like passing out. So oh yeah. As Dazai told Akutagawa that Atsushi was better than him, but then in those kind of moments, I'm like, is he though? Because he comes off as like whining in those situations, So I'm like, boy, like, do something. Don't just be there and be like, I'm in this position again. Why is it always me? Why am I always like this? I'm like, stop it. Stop whining. Thank you guys for watching. And if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, you can do so by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/Philomene, and you can also see the full length of this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I'm waking up, I feel it in my bones enough to make my systems blow. Welcome to the